More trades could be incoming for the New York Knicks, and they may have found a star, a steal in the second round of this year's NBA draft in Tyler Kolek, and we're going to break it all down on this Knicks Digest Happy Hour number 3. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into it as we always do as I resize Matt live here. So Matt can see my face while I'm talking is essentially the reasoning for this. Guys, it's good to be back on the stream with all of you here. And we're going to jump into it. Matt, so obviously there's been some rumors that are never going to die about center talk. And we've done a lot of center talk. So just to give you a quick update, there's some noise because Leon Rose was spotted with Jonas Valanciunas. They were chopping it up. There's some rumors that Jonas wanted to come to the Knicks. But unfortunately, after OG Anunoby signed for $40 million, that did not end up happening. So the Knicks ended up trading for Karl-Anthony Towns. And Karl-Anthony Towns, well, we all know, it looks like it's working through these first few preseason games. Matt, so much is going on with the New York Knicks right now, especially when also considering Tyler Kolek. It seems like the Knicks just did it again with drafting Emmanuel quickly and finding a super sixth man. I think they just did it again, Matt.
Yeah, dude, watching these preseason games, I love what I see from Kolek because I see a guy who's just always so aggressive in trying to score. And I just feel like he's always a threat to put the ball in the basket, whether it's three-pointers or these circus layups that we've seen through the first 2 preseason games. Seeing him, even at Marquette, you could always tell this dude, he's a leader of the offense. He looks like a killer. I understand it's early, but I really feel like this is just, I feel like I don't want to say floor, but I feel like this guy is going to be like an Austin Reeves for the Knicks. Now, one problem I do have is I want to see his passing get a little smarter. I feel like he put the ball in danger a little bit too much specifically against the Wizards. There was one pass he tried to throw across court. It almost got stolen. There were some other ones, a little bit questionable passing, but the shooting, the driving, even some of his assists were really good. I'm really excited for this kid. I really feel like this guy could be something really special for the Knicks. Dude, but the Knicks it seems like they keep hitting on these second round guys. And we're going to talk about that other second round pick that I'm sure, is it Charlie Knicks? Is that the fan?
Charlie Knicks is our moderator. He is our channel's moderator in these live streams. As he mentioned, if you're just tuning in or are new to the channel, please hit the like button to receive updated videos on the Knicks for the 2024-2025 champs. Shout out to Charlie Knicks. As always, I'm loving this Knicks team, Charlie. I think it is the best team that they have had. I was really not a fan of the Towns trade, but I think as time goes on, I'm just biased towards Julius Randle because I watched him play for so long. And losing DiVincenzo hurt, but the amount of offense that Kolek creates off the bench, you have to imagine he's going to get day 1 minutes in the rotation. And also Deuce McBride seems to be taking it to another level. And Evan Best says, "What's up, Matt?" Oh, yeah, you saw that.
Saw
you
that.
Called him even. Yep. Oh, it's even Best. It's not Evan. I'm just stupid.
Oh.
Tyler Kolek is a
can't
future
read.
star. Chris can't read. You also spelled my name wrong. I think Chris is grabbing some claws right now. That's absolutely correct. Until they sponsor me, White Claw, sponsor me.
What flavor? What flavor?
Black.
Actually, I don't have to ask, but just for the people in the crowd, they got to know the flavor. I know the flavor.
We're rocking the black cherry, ladies and gentlemen.
Most people buy the packs where there's a bunch of different flavors, but not you, Chris.
Not me,
you.
Man. Even
not
Best.
You.
Yeah.
You know what you want.
I know what I want, man.
Yeah. And you know what I want to know, Chris?
What's up?
The Knicks just trade for Karl-Anthony Towns, who's a 5 who can shoot, but maybe his defense isn't the best. Isn't Jonas Valanciunas kind of the same thing, but a worse version?
Exactly. And he's just a worse defender. Jonas can't defend. He can't move. It's really tragic.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love that Pelicans team because they had a bunch of Duke guys on it. And Jonas Valanciunas, he was on the Pelicans shortly after that. So I've seen him a lot, and I understand what the hype would be. But I just feel like with Towns, I think that kind of, I don't want to say shuts the door, but that has to tank the chances of Jonas Valanciunas being a New York Knick. Do you have an opinion on that? Yeah.
I think 100% we're going to see Jonas Valanciunas not ever end up in a Knicks jersey because they traded for Towns. Now, here's something interesting about this whole situation. The Knicks knew that once Mikal Bridges got traded to the team, they knew Isaiah Hartenstein was gone. They also, on draft night, they tried to trade for Towns. They tried to trade Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns, and it just did not work out. It didn't happen. But here's the thing. The reason they didn't draft Tyler Kolek in the first round, they wanted Kolek. They were fans of him, but they knew they could command giving Pacome Dadier less money than Tyler Kolek would have if they drafted Kolek in the first round, because Pacome's 5 years younger than Kolek. So they drafted an 18-year-old who's a raw prospect in Pacome Dadier. Pacome was supposed to go earlier than that pick, so he was upset. And when his agent told him, hey, this is your chance to get drafted in the first round. The Knicks want you. They're a big fan of your game, but they can't pay you. They're trying to make moves. They're trying to get Mikal Bridges. They're trying to get Karl Anthony Towns. It's going to mess with the aprons. What did the Knicks do? They draft Pacome, who's a long-term type guy who they're going to try to turn into a Michael Porter Jr. type player. Pure scorer, good shot creation. His defense has also been underrated, along Michael Porter Jr., who doesn't really play good defense. So Pacome's just a raw prospect, long-term type project. They loved Tyler Kolek. The Knicks loved Kolek. They wanted Kolek to be their guy. They realized no team was going to pick him, and that they could, if they traded that 26th pick for some second-rounders, they'd be able to work it out. They got 5 second-rounders. Those second-rounders helped get a handful of deals done, including getting Mikal to the team. It's brought in Tyler Kolek. It's brought in Kevin McCullough Jr. It's brought in Ariel Hukporti. The Knicks did so well at the draft, and now we're seeing Tyler Kolek look like he's going to be a future star. The man, great playmaker, can hit the three consistently. Very comfortable in the NBA pace also. He doesn't seem too phased at all by it.
Yeah, when I saw Kolek in March Madness on Marquette, I thought it was really easy to project that he was going to be a guy in the NBA who's going to be like a Grayson Allen type. I thought his defense would always kind of suffer, but on offense, he could be a guy that can give you 22, not points a night, but any given night could give you 25 points. So I was obviously stoked when the Knicks were able to pull him off in the second round, and he's been my favorite pick of the draft for the Knicks. But watching the Wizards, I know Ariel Hukporti was injured, and that's why it fell in the draft, but I really feel like Ariel Hukporti would be a steal too. And I'm going to call it right now, Chris. You might hate this take. A month and a half, I think Jericho Sims' minutes are going to be in trouble because I think Ariel Hukporti is coming for them.
Also, now I love Hukporti's game. Shout out to the guy who was in my live stream comments for months saying Hukporti's nice. He was absolutely correct. I would not be surprised. Hukporti looked better than Jericho Sims against the Wizards. Like, he just did. Sims still looks uncomfortable playing basketball, and Hukporti doesn't. That's a glaring difference that a contender is going to see. And the Knicks were never big fans of Jericho Sims to begin with. Are you drinking water and a White Claw? That's responsible. I love it. So, actually, yes, but that glass is the White Claw. I do have my water bottle here. My White Claw is just in the glass, and it looks like water. Look, drink responsibly, guys. I got people on this channel who are not of age. Be responsible. Be an adult.
Yeah. All right, Chris. We got a question from Charlie Nix. How are you feeling about the defense on court?
I love it. I'm not bothered at all by Towns' defense. I thought it was going to be worse, and I think it's going to continue to improve throughout the season. They brought in Mark Bryant, who's an awesome big man coach, who's helped Jalen Duren's game expand so much. Now, obviously, Towns isn't Jalen Duren. He's not a teenager in the NBA. Towns is going into his ninth season. And you look at this team, they have so much good defense. They forced 30 turnovers against the Wizards. Josh Hart's an awesome defender. OG Anunoby's the best defender on the Knicks. And the Knicks have Mikal Bridges and Deuce McBride. Also, there's an argument. I'm not saying it's a good argument. And people are going to be like, Chris, you're wrong. But I'm not making it. I'm just saying. There's an argument that Mitchell Robinson is the most important defensive player on this team because he is a rim protector. The one thing that has never went out of style in basketball is rim protection. It's still the easiest way to win games is to get right up to the hoop and score. When's the last time a team has won without a phenomenal rim protector? I mean, Porzingis, excellent shot blocker. What?
Nuggets. The Nuggets.
Well, darn.
You know I remember that take, Chris. I remember that take.
Also, in fairness, Aaron Gordon is a phenomenal defender. The team had good defense. They had Contavious Caldwell-Pope. Jokic is a machine.
The Knicks defense looked phenomenal against the Wizards, but there's at some point we do have to remember that the Wizards are going to have a really long season this year. and they're a bad, bad basketball team.
Yeah.
So some of those turnovers were just bad basketball plays. A lot of it was Mikal Bridges having, I think his arms are like 18 feet long because he just seems to grab anything in his zip code. And then even Karl Anthony Towns was getting in on the steals game. It was just so much fun to watch. When you're talking about the perimeter defense, I was pretty worried that you're going to forget to mention Mitchell Robinson, but you're one of his biggest fans, so you never could. You never could.
Shout out Nostalgic Nick, who's in the chat. Two of the best supporters of the channel. Now, look. Tyler Kolek pushes the pace. I know. I'm struggling right now. I have food in my mouth.
No, I'm not laughing at that. Charlie Nick says, guys, when we reach 100 viewers, Chris will put on another Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, I will. I have 5 of them, so we can keep going.
Oh, 5 of them. So every 100 equals another Hawaiian shirt.
Now, look, this is obviously a Knicks channel, and I'm not trying to take it off the rails, especially because we're a few minutes in. But I will mention, Matt, when I used to work for our former college, Sacred Heart University, I actually stole a Hawaiian shirt when I was working. They were giving it out to fans, and I was working a game, and I just took one and left. It was
seen it.
Dude, it broke in days.
Yeah, that's going to be the celebratory when we get 500 viewers in a single stream. Or no, 600. Because 500, or were you, when you said you had 5 Hawaiian shirts, were you talking about, were you adding that shirt into the 5?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so when we hit 600 viewers, you will put that shirt on.
5-minute rotation on the shirts. Dope, dude. What's up, man? Hope everything's good with you. Huck Porty breakout season incoming. I mean, it's hard to call it a breakout when you're a rookie, but yeah, we're going to see, like, I think he is going to earn his minutes. I definitely think Kolek's going to earn minutes, and something that was mentioned is the fact that, yeah, Tyler Kolek's defense is not good. The Knicks have enough defense to hide Tyler Kolek on some shooter. Like, every team has a guy who's in there, or most teams have a guy who's in there for one reason. They can hit threes. The Knicks are an anomaly that they don't have that. The Celtics also don't. Outside of that, let's take the 76ers. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, who doesn't shoot, so they could just leave him open and hide Tyler Kolek there. Who else? Caleb Martin, who's there primarily to shoot threes and play some 3-and-D defense. Paul George and Joel Embiid. Like, yeah, you have guys who have to be guarded, like Embiid and George and Maxey. And when everyone's healthy, Mikal, OG, and Mitch will handle that. The thing is, after that, you have 2 guys who aren't going to add that much offense. You can hide Tyler Kolek, especially that's their starting 5. When's Kolek going to be guarding their starting 5? He's going to be coming off the bench. He's going to guard Eric Gordon, who's 37, 36 years old. He's going to be able to be hidden on defenses. Remember, he's coming off the bench. Like, against the Bucks start Gary Trent Jr. in their starting lineup. That man is there for one reason, to hit threes like he did in Portland in the bubble, and that's not happening again when he shot 50% from 3.
I mean, if you check what college Gary Trent Jr. went to, I'm pretty sure he's elite.
Oh, yes. Guys, Matt is a massive Duke fan.
But, yeah, I mean, the problem is you don't want to have to hide too many players on defense, which I would just think Brunson and Kolek wouldn't be on the floor at the same time, seeing how Brunson would run with the starters, Kolek would run with the 2s.
Yeah, and Mikal will be in there with Kolek to be able to dominate the ball. But remember, Mikal Bridges, his shot creation grew a lot in Brooklyn. The problem was he was doing it when being the guy who the best defender on the other team was guarding. So he's now in a situation where he's going to be able to do that Nets role in a smaller increment, where instead of going out there and trying to create shots against elite defenses, he's going to be doing it against bench players, because Mikal, it's already said, Thibodeau said he's going to run Mikal with the bench unit, and he's going to be the primary scorer off the bench.
Yeah, so Chris, we got a lot of comments in the comment section talking about the thumbnail of this live stream, which it was the first thing we said, but after you take a bite of this mac and cheese, can you repeat what you said about the Valanciunas rumors for the people who are interested in that?
I was hoping I'd be done with this mac and cheese. I was hoping it'd finish before the live stream, but hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah, so Leon Rose and Valanciunas responded talking to each other. I did a video on this that came out today. If you guys also want to check that out after, feel free to do that. But really, there was noise that Valanciunas would have wanted to come to the Knicks, and the Knicks have been interested in him. But now having Karl Anthony Towns, it makes it tough to imagine that trade goes down. But he's someone who the Knicks are just going to have repeated interest in because he's a veteran center. He's been on winning teams. He knows how to win basketball games. Now, he wasn't on the championship Raptors, but he didn't win a championship with the Raptors, but he was on that championship team. At the trade deadline, Valanciunas got traded to the Grizzlies for Marc Gasol. And so obviously, yeah, Valanciunas didn't win a ring in Toronto, but he's been on winning teams. He's been around successful players. He's been on playoff staples. The guy is going to get traded off the Wizards. I just don't see it being to the Knicks anymore, but the rumors are always going to stay there because Mitch makes $14.3 million. Valanciunas makes $10 per year. So the Knicks can save some money, go out there, then sign Hukporti to a full-time contract, which they're going to do in a few days anyway, so that's not really a big concern. But then what you could do, if you don't trust Mitchell Robinson, if you want to move him, you wait for a center to get moved to the deadline and then bought out. Sorry. I'm talking with food in my mouth, so I'm trying not to choke. So essentially, when you look at Valanciunas and his play style, it doesn't fit if you have Karl Anthony Towns on your team, but there's guys like a Clint Capella who might get moved to a bad team just so the Hawks can get rid of him because they want to start Onyeka Okongwu and not have to worry about Clint Capella. Say Capella gets moved to a bad team. No bad team's going to keep Clint Capella on roster. They're going to waive him, and then if the Knicks wanted to trade Mitchell Robinson at all, whether it's for Valanciunas or not, you can go out and sign a Clint Capella and still get another veteran rim protector, rim runner guy. So it's not like it's... And there's other guys outside of Capella. He's just the one who I'm using. It also depends on how Hukporti plays. It depends on how Mitch plays when he gets back, which he'll have a month to show out before the trade deadline happens, and we're going to see if the Knicks move him. I'll be honest, at this point, I don't think the Knicks will move Mitch. He's so dangerous at what he does. The highest percentage of open threes come off of offensive rebounds. So when that happens, what you see is you see this situation where you have the best offensive rebounder in basketball is going to be on the court with Brunson, Towns, McHale, OG. McHale and OG shoot 44 and 46% from three in the corner, respectively. Jalen Brunson, arguably the best part of his game is his catch and shoot three-point shooting. Karl Anthony Towns, man, is an elite. He's the best shooting big man on the planet. Like, this is a scenario where the Knicks are going to be getting a ton of open threes using Mitchell Robinson and his ability to grab offensive boards and get putbacks. And you can't sag off and double Mitch on the boards, which we saw last year because there was Julius Randle and RJ Barrett out there when Mitch was playing and fully healthy. Those guys can't exactly shoot. So, or not well. Also, RJ shooting really well in Toronto. He just wasn't shooting well in New York. He's on a team that fits better. So shout out RJ for that. But it's, go off.
Yeah, so going back to specifically Valanciunas, when you keep saying the Knicks have interest in Jonas Valanciunas as the player that they're always going to have interest in, would it be correct to say that he is in the same spot right now that Karl Anthony Towns was 2 months ago? Yeah. So you can chew. I can take over. So anyone who, is thinking we're just talking, we're just hyping up stuff that's not going to happen. We didn't think Karl Anthony Towns was going to happen. And then he was at 2 months ago, he was in the same spot. He was a player who we thought the Knicks just had interest in, but it was never going to happen. So Valanciunas is just as likely as Karl Anthony Towns was. So if you were a believer in Karl Anthony Towns coming to the Knicks, there really isn't there's still reason to believe that he could be coming to the Knicks. Now, I think it's clear that me and Chris don't want him on the Knicks, seeing how we already have a guy just like him, but better. But as Chris absolutely shovels down this mac and cheese, there is a bead of sweat coming off his brow. And I know why that bead of sweat is there. It's because he can see that we're nearing 100 viewers.
We got there.
And he knows that another Hawaiian shirt has to be coming soon. Okay. Chris, take another sip of that White Claw. I'm going to address the crowd here.
I just ate half this thing of mac and cheese because it was.
You're good. No one's gonna.
Imagine
no one's
someone
gonna
joining
judge
right
you.
now who's never been to Knicks Digest Happy Hour before. They're like, I watched this guy on YouTube, and now he's just shoveling mac and cheese in his face. Like, what is happening? But no. I wouldn't say Jonas is too old. He's 32. Like.
Yeah, plus another point, we got to still talk about this Wizards preseason game. Another point I came into this live stream wanting to make was Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns are developing insane chemistry with each other. And it's awesome to see. The pick and roll, it's back, Chris. It is absolutely back. That doesn't look like a Hawaiian shirt to me.
The Hawaiian shirt will come on in 1 minute. I'm just pouring. pouring. Just pouring.
Mr. Realistic said, dude, tearing up that food.
Dude,
Please
I
don't
was
take.
starving.
Yeah,
Yo,
Nick.
Anytime I come out of the sauna, I'm starving. But that's not why people are here. They're not here to hear why I get hungry. They're people too. They get it.
Please don't take Mitch away from me. Chris, do you think GMs around the league are going to be afraid to trade for Mitchell Robinson because of his injury history?
Yeah. Absolutely. It doesn't matter what. So the deal is, it doesn't matter. Like, you see a guy who misses a ton of every other season. You're not going to want to move much for him. Why would you? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Think about this.
They're definitely not going to want to move what we're going to need to move him.
Also, yeah, I mean that. And also, all right, I can think of one team off the top of my head that I could see really, really wanting Mitchell Robinson and literally cannot think of another team. Do you want to guess who? I'll give you one guess.
One guess?
Yeah.
Playoff team last year or not?
No, but they're going to be a playoff team this year.
They're going to be a playoff team this year.
I'll give you a hint. It was injury history. Or it was an injury year. That's why they all missed it.
It was an injury year?
Everyone got injured. The entire team got injured. Their top 7 players all got injured.
Oh, Memphis.
Yeah, it's Memphis.
Yeah, of course. They lost Steven Adams. So, of course, they're looking for rim protection now.
Uh-huh. And as Charlie and Knicks mentioned, also fun fact, Memphis traded Steven Adams for Victor Oladipo. Just a fun
Well, you saw what Oladipo did yesterday.
I know. That hurts my soul.
Preseason's ramping up, so he said, "Oh, not for me."
Not for me.
I mean, he was a great player. He was a great player.
I loved watching him in 2018. I'm a massive LeBron fan, so I was rooting for the Cavs, but it was so cool to see the way that Oladipo just went toe-to-toe with LeBron. But as Charlie Knicks mentioned, the Lakers are interested in Mitch, and that makes sense. AD and Mitch are close. It does add a level to their defense, and the Lakers have 2 defenders, and one of them is a 40-year-old, year 22 LeBron James. That's why I think Bronny's going to get minutes for the Lakers, is they're just so desperate for on-ball defense, and he might be able to give something.
You are crazy.
Zach Edey is on the Grizzlies.
You're crazy.
Zach Edey is on the Grizzlies, but he's unproven. Yeah, I understand. Phenomenal block timing. Looks good so far. He's 7'4". There's a world where he doesn't stay healthy because humans are not supposed to be anywhere near 7'4". And what if he doesn't pan out? Like, there's always a world, and the Grizzlies are thinking, okay, yeah, we just used the 9th pick on Zach Edey. Matt, as we talk about a lot, the 9th pick in the NBA.
Wait. I was going to say, outside the top 3, Chris, what do we call them?
It's a coin flip.
Yeah, coin flip, lottery ticket, whatever you want to say. It's a gamble. That's what it is. It's a gamble.
It's a gamble. It's a complete gamble. I mean, like, all right, we're at 123. Guys, if you weren't on already, Charlie Knicks, the moderator of the comments, he said that for every 100 views that happens, I do have to put on another Hawaiian shirt. It's Knicks Digest Happy Hour. This is a lot different from the channel. I know I'm weird on the channel and the videos, but I hit new levels here. If you guys don't know who Matt is, just a quick reminder, because I didn't really give him an intro this time, because he's a staple of it. He's actually fun fact, he was the guest host the first 2 weeks, but Matt is officially the co-host of Knicks Digest Happy Hour. He will be on all of them, even when we have guests. But for anyone who didn't know, Matt is my college roommate, and we host Jets Digest together. Make sure to check that out. The videos are more similar to this because we're joking around. And you guys might see my green screen get real weird right now when I go to get this jersey. Or this, not jersey. We're not doing jerseys. We're doing Hawaiian shirts this time.
Chris, stop wasting time. Go get a Hawaiian shirt. All right, what do we got here? Of course you did.
Over my water bottle and fell.
Can they hear you?
I don't know.
I don't know if you guys can hear Chris, but he just tripped over his water bottle and fell.
That hurt, dude. I fell
So,
right on my ass.
All right, what do we got here? Edey over Mitchell Robinson. I mean, we know what Mitchell Robinson is, and that is a tremendous rim protector, offensive rebound. We don't know what Edey is. So if you want to take the gamble on Zach Edey over Mitchell Robinson, I can understand it. I really can.
I respect it.
Because, yeah.
I like Edey's game. There's a reason I made multiple Zach Edey videos.
Yeah, the question is, do you want to take that risk on Edey? And honestly, I'm gonna give this question to you, Chris. You, Mr. Gallagher, would you take the risk on Zach Edey? If you could trade Mitchell Robinson, actually, let's pretend Mitchell Robinson today is healthy. Would you trade him straight up for Zach Edey?
Barring the fact that it breaks multiple financial trade rules.
Yeah.
No,
We're
no,
gonna.
I wouldn't. Mitch has been there. Mitch was a massive X factor in the series against both the 76ers this year and the first round against the Cavs in 2023. It's hard to be like, okay, I'll trade him for an unproven rookie who, no matter who it is, like, well, not all of them, but like this year's rookie class, which is looked at as monumentally
outside the top
bad.
3. They're all unproven lottery tickets.
I don't like the
This
top
year-
3. I think
this
Reese
year
is
it's not
the
even
worst
3.
first overall pick we're going to see since Anthony Bennett.
They were comping him to Michael Porter Jr. They're like, if this guy reaches his potential, he could be a Michael Porter Jr. type player. I'm like, is that really what people want? Although
Knicks fan 13, I am okay. I caught myself when I fell. And I don't know if this is a girl's gamer chair. Yeah, it is a video game chair because I found one and it was comfy and it was nice for my back. I don't know if it's for
They're
women.
super comfy.
Dude, they're comfy
I used to have one, but it had mold on it. I picked it up off the side of the road.
Guys, that's disgusting. I want Wemby on the Knicks. Spurs don't deserve him. Dude, I want Wemby on the Knicks. I want $1 million. But guess what? Bro, I saw this thing, and I'm going to make a post. I'm going to make a poll on it later. Would you trade? I just want to hear your opinion on this. I have a very strong stance on this. Would you trade Jalen Brunson for Wemby?
You have to.
Absolutely.
You have to.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
You have to. Did you see the GM's poll from a couple days ago where like 73% of people picked Wembanyama to start their franchise with?
That doesn't surprise me. It's the right call. Who else would you pick?
He is an alien unicorn. Those titles are not even fair to give him. He's like LeBron. His title is savior. Mm-hmm. Isn't he the favorite for defensive player of the year this year, Chris?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, as a second-year player.
No second-year players ever won defensive player of the year, and he's going to win it. Kessler 5, Cat 4, championship odds go up. So Walker Kessler, because we should talk about the Knicks.
Agree.
Walker Kessler, the Jazz wanted 2 first-round picks for him. The Knicks were like, absolutely not. We're not doing that at all. That's not happening. No way. So essentially, the Knicks decided, okay, we're going to go trade for Towns now instead. You don't need Towns if you have Mitchell Robinson. Thrifters.
You mean you don't need Kessler? You don't need Kessler if you have Mitch.
Yes. Sorry. I'm reading the chat and I'm seeing names.
Yeah, no. The point I think we're both gonna make here is that we both want Kessler. The reason we don't have him is because we don't want to pay the price for Kessler, which is 2 first-round picks plus. So that's bad.
I also will say, like the best argument yet is for all this is like anti-Wemby is people saying like, oh, he might get injured. I do think Wemby's career is going to be pretty short because of injuries, but when he's in his prime, he'll be amazing.
Chris, what player in the NBA can't get injured?
Well, that's fair, but when you're 7'4", you're more likely to.
No risk, no reward.
Not center. Yeah, Brunson doesn't jump. He avoids all kind of injury. Knock wood, dude. Basically said the Spurs are better because of Wemby. They're not better because of Wemby.
They are who they are because of Wemby. They exist because of Wemby.
No, I just think Wemby at 20 years old makes more sense like for a team to start to build around than Jalen Brunson. And that's not against Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's the 6th best player in the NBA. And Wemby's not. Wemby's like 25th. But but
Wemby is going into his second year. When Wemby is going into his whatever year Jalen Brunson's going into, he might be the best player in basketball.
There's that argument. I understand. Look, it's tough because the Knicks are contenders, and Wemby's not the best player on a championship team next year. That's the argument. And now I'm arguing against my argument because now I'm kind of like, ugh. The Knicks are built. Here's the thing. Leon Rose did an absolutely phenomenal job going out and building the best contender for a 4-year window that we've ever seen anyone build. Because Mikhail's going to sign an extension after this season, and then Brunson's till 2028. Brunson signed till 2028. OG is signed till 2028. Towns is signed till 2028. And Mikhail is going to agree to an extension that keeps him here till 2028. The Knicks did an excellent job going out there and building a team that for the next 4 seasons is going to be able to compete for an NBA title, and they're not going to have to worry about losing their 4 best players. That never happens in basketball. Leon Rose is so good at his job. Message retracted. What happened? What happened? Oh, I can't see it. Never mind. 2 first-round picks to win the chip is not too much if it helps us win the chip. We don't really have too many first-round picks to give, though. We traded all of them for Towns and McHale. We have 1 left.
Yeah. Also, Walker Kessler, as good as he was that rookie year, he's still unproven. Although I do think he would be like he would be phenomenal on the Knicks.
Oh my, yeah.
He
I
would be
would
phenomenal.
love Kessler. If they could figure out how to get Walker Kessler, I am all for trading that final first-round pick for him. No doubt in my mind. Now,
Absolutely.
also, as Carl Jean Baptiste has asked, why haven't we seen Pacome yet? Is he hurt? Pacome hurt his finger, and he is missing time because of that. The Knicks have so many guys who they are not sure are going to be in the rotation, but they are sure that Pacome Dadier, the first round pick by the Knicks, is not going to be in the rotation this year. And because they know he's not going to be in the rotation this year, they've decided to make sure he fully recovers. Pacome is going to spend basically this entire season with the Westchester Knicks. They're going to give him the ball. They're going to let him shoot the ball a lot. And it's for the best for the team because it's like, okay, now we have this young guy who's getting better and better every day. We get to develop him. So instead of him sitting on the end of the bench in MSG, he's going out there and he's getting to play against guys who have been in the NBA before, guys who want to make the NBA. It's like using the minor leagues in baseball. Like, it's going to be good for Pacome to get minutes. It's way better than having him just on the Knicks roster.
Chris, I never
from Charlie Knicks since we said that we'd trade Brunson for Wemby, and I'm upset that he might be mad at me. So Charlie Knicks, respond. I need our moderator here, dude. He's our mod.
Hey, I'm sure he's poking around here somewhere.
Using last first round pick for Booker.
You know that guy, the guy who started on the gold medal team, the 2 guard, the guy who started over Jason Tatum, the guy who was the best player on the championship team. Let's go get that guy. I wish, I really do.
Oh, I'd love if they could figure that out. Booker is unproven. Booker is proven. Booker is proven. He just hasn't won a championship. He's been there.
Do you see Knicks fan 13's comment?
Knicks fan, bro. Teams are trying to scam us for their
backup center, and people are trying to convince me that KSI's new song is good.
All I've heard is that song sucks.
I heard that like Duolingo or like some sort of corporation, like friendly corporation, called him out pretty much, and they said at least you tried your best. And he just funny. Yeah, that means it's bad. That means it's not worth your time. Booker's legit, absolutely.
Yeah, Booker's legit. I would not say Pacome is a wasted roster spot. He's a project pick. He's the 15th man. That's fine.
Chris, this question's right up your alley. You've answered it before, but I know you have a lot to say about it. Mitch for Robert Williams.
I coughed. I saw the question. I knew what it was going to be.
I thought that was a joke. I thought that was a fake cough. I could see it coming over the Zoom, and I was like, there's no way this guy's about to cough like a cartoon character.
No, I felt it. It was before that. I looked down, so as I swallowed, it just messed me up. No, I would not trade Mitchell Robinson for Robert Williams. Robert Williams is 6'9". Also, he's as injury-prone as Mitchell Robinson. It makes no sense to trade an injury-prone player for a worse injury-prone player. It feels like you're not getting anything out of that, except for a guy who the Celtics moved and then won a championship the following season. I don't think it makes sense to trade for. If you're going to trade Mitch, you have to trade him for someone who's reliable. That's the thing. Like, if you're trading Mitchell Robinson, you're trading him for someone who's worse than Mitchell Robinson, but is more reliable than him. And as people say, the best ability is availability. So it becomes this situation where it depends. What are you more into? A center who's better or a center who's going to go out there and play really well when he's healthy, but it's hard to imagine he's going to be healthy that much. Like, Mitch is missing till January of this season. That means that Mitch is going to come back, I'd say mid-January. I don't think he's coming back on New Year's Day. I think it's going to be middle January, Mitch is going to come back. That's already around 35 games missed. He's not going to come back and play every game. He's going to come back, be on a minutes restriction. He's probably going to get some days off on back-to-backs. Mitch is probably going to play 40 games this year at most because they're going to try to keep him healthy for the playoffs. They know what matters. It's not that Mitchell Robinson's healthy day one, or it's not that Mitchell Robinson, they want him playing in October. They don't care if Mitchell Robinson plays in October, November, December, January, February. They care about Mitchell Robinson playing March, April, May, and June because that's what matters. The Knicks are a contending team. They're not trying to go out there and make some move where it's like, okay, well, we'll be good in the regular season. No, there's a reason why this team was built so meticulously. It's because the Knicks want to win an NBA championship, and they understand that both Mitch doesn't want to play injured again because he played injured, Embiid hurt him, and then his stress fracture got so bad the Knicks thought that his career was over. Because of that, the Knicks are waiting until Mitch is fully healthy so they can put him in the game and essentially decide, okay, he's done with the injury, he's fully healthy, everything's all good, we're done with this portion of the injury Mitch. He'll probably get injured again at some point, but at least we have him healthy for right now, and right now is what matters. When you're a contending team, the regular season only matters so much. Now it matters because matchups matter in the playoffs. If you're the Knicks, you don't want to fall to the 5 seed and then play the 4 seed Bucks, where I understand the Knicks are better than the Bucks, or say the Knicks are the 4 seed and the Bucks are the 5 seed, whatever. You don't want to play Giannis, ever. You never want to play Giannis, no matter what. He's good. You don't really want to play the Orlando Magic because the Magic have had the Knicks number over the last year or so. Given one of the games the Knicks lost to the Magic, it was by 4 points, and Brunson was not playing that game. But the point still stands. You want to play the 7 seed. You want to play the 8 seed. I understand the irony of the fact that the Knicks lost to the Pacers, who were like a 6 seed. And the 7th seed was the Philadelphia 76ers. That's because Joel Embiid gets injured all the time, literally has not taken a break, and is going to get injured again because Embiid's been playing basically nonstop for the last 2 years, with counting all this Team USA stuff. So obviously that's a terrible idea by Embiid. The Sixers are going to flame out because of it. The Knicks and the Celtics are the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference. Now, the Knicks can afford to go out there and be a 3 seed. I actually think they will. I think Philly is going to have a weirdly good regular season, and then Embiid's not going to be healthy. Paul George probably isn't going to be healthy, and it's just going to flame out into either a first or second round exit. And the Bucks are not that good. It feels like their best days are behind them. But at the same time, it just becomes this situation where you want to play a bad team. You want to play the Cavs, who I know aren't bad. They're good. Donovan Mitchell's a phenomenal scorer. He's one of the best scorers in basketball. But the Cavs are not built to win. They have 2 guards who don't play defense, and they have 2 big men who can't play offense. That team is never going to work. You kind of want to play the Pacers because the Knicks would have beat the Pacers had any of their injured players been healthy. It doesn't matter if it's Josh Hart at full health. It doesn't matter if it's Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. You have one fully healthy Knick. They're winning that series because the Pacers won because they had that game where they just shot an anomaly of a game. It is what it is.
Don't forget Game 3. That crazy Hail Mary of a shot.
Oh, yeah, when Nembhard hit a Hail Mary to win. The Pacers, I don't want to call it luck because that's not fair. Every team benefits by other teams' injuries. And regardless, you can't call Nembhard lucky for being a great shooter and hitting a deep 3. That's not fair to Nembhard. He's a phenomenal role player, and
I want to.
It was an unlikely make. That's not luck, though. Unlikely and lucky are different. I don't want to call Nembhard lucky for hitting a shot that he spot up and took because he's a phenomenal shooter. I don't think it's fair to him.
But Chris, speaking of being lucky, the comments want to know how lucky or is TJ Warren going to make this final roster?
Knicks can't afford him. Can't afford him. You can only bring on one of your Exhibit 10 contract guys, and that's going to be Landry Shamet. The Knicks are going to have 14 guys on their roster for the foreseeable future. They're not going to by playoffs. They're going to figure something out. There's going to be a trade in the middle of the season. I think it's going to be Precious Achiuwa, who someone did mention and ask why Precious is not really getting acknowledged because he fills up the stat sheet. The reason is, for my sake, is I don't think Precious will be on this team come February. So I think it's hard to imagine, the Knicks will play him as the backup center, but it's hard for me to get amped for a guy who I'm pretty convinced is going to get moved off the team. Imagine Huck Porty guarding Miles Turner or Siakam. We should have Precious in the last quarter of the Nembhard game. He wouldn't have made that shot. He's going to break out. Name 3 serious Mitch, and I will spot you 2, both broken bones. There's no I don't really know what that means. Watch Mobley this year. He's going to break out. Mobley still can't shoot, though. A team that has 2 non-shooters is not winning anything. I strongly believe that the Knicks – it's Charlie Knicks. I got to answer it. I strongly believe the Knicks should hold on to Mitch. We made good enough moves. Let's work with what we have. Mitch is so good healthy. He's the best offensive rebounder in basketball when he's healthy. I agree. I don't want to move Mitch. Sorry.
Chris, can I – I did, but I forgot. But I see people talking in the comments about Precious, and I wanted to mention this because I feel like Precious represents everything that Tom Thibodeau wants out of one of his players. He's the first guy on the floor. He gives effort on offense and defense. He's always running as fast as he can, stays healthy, plays a ton of minutes. Just he's not a leaky wheel in the media. He just everything you can ask for. He was an afterthought in that OG Anunoby trade, and he's blossomed into a player who we don't want to lose, who someone else is going to want to trade for because he's a good player. And I really feel like he is kind of capturing Knicks fans' hearts because he plays his butt off every night, Chris. There's never a play where you can look at Precious Achiuwa and say that he didn't give enough effort. And that's
Absolutely.
why I understand why you would have to move him because he's a young player. He's got a movable contract, one of the few movable contracts on the New York Knicks books right now. But you gotta salute him. You gotta salute him. Hopefully he has his Malachi Flynn moment and drops 50 on somebody.
He held Joel Embiid to 1 point in Game 4 of the first round of the playoffs. But Matt, also we're gonna start playing this game now. It's kind of based off a game that's not exactly a drinking game, but people do use it as a drinking game at points. So it's essentially, we all know it. It's 2 truths and a lie. Matt, we're going to make it our own kind of variation of it, which is 2 takes that you stand by and believe in, and 1 take that you think is false, and we're going to let the comments decide. I will be right back. In 1 minute. So, Matt, you give 2 takes you stand by. Make them kind of hot. Take 3 kind of hot takes that you have. 2 that are true about the Knicks. 1 that is not. We're adding some fun.
I gotta think. I'm gonna ask some questions because I'm gonna read some comments right now because I need to think about this because I want to do a good job with this, and I use all my hot takes when I sat down in this chair to start the show.
Okay. When I walk away, I'm gonna be thinking of mine. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Good. All right, Achiuwa, a rebound and defense finishing machine when he puts effort into it, which he always does. Achiuwa, taller, Josh Hart. Yeah, I agree with that. Precious Achiuwa, Josh Hart, both Tom Thibodeau players. There's really no holes in their game. Maybe they're not great on offense, but we got offense. They do everything that you ask them to do. And in that Philly series, when we need a big shot out of Josh Hart, he was there to hit him. Precious Achiuwa was there with big rebounds when we needed him. Love both of those guys. Is he a championship player, though? If you're talking about a championship player, and by a championship player, you mean a guy who is a starter on a championship? No. Which is why we're perfectly fine with trading him, because we understand that he is going to need to be traded because he's a player who is still someone that will be coveted by another team in a trade. Knicks lose to the 76ers without Precious. How is that not a championship player? I mean, if Mitchell Robinson is fully healthy, do they need Precious Achiuwa though? I missed the comment. I lost the comment, but fantasy trade, give me Miles Turner.
Matt, I actually have
Chris?
a fun idea.
Oh my God, this bro is full of ideas. Better be putting on another
Matt,
shirt.
Did you give your 3 hot takes while I was going?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you're going to give me your 3 hot takes, and I'm going to guess, and the fans are going to guess. Or the commenters are going to guess. I feel like
Dude, this is tough because I got to think of all. Can you start talking about something and I ignore you while I think?
Guys, I'm going to start talking about something very important right now. You go on to Knicks Digest community posts, and you join our fantasy league. We have a few spots left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots left open. If we can get that filled in this live stream right now, I will start the draft in 5 minutes. And we will do a fantasy basketball draft right here, right now. Guys, I came prepared today. We got to get Charlie Knicks in it. He's a must. No way Pacers give up Turner. They're not giving up Turner. Jericho Sims is going to be gone from the team after this year. Fantasy trade. Give me Pacer and I'm a Turner. Yo, guys, so yeah, I will start I have a fantasy league started. We have some people in here. We have Vincent Campbell. We have Abdul Chima. And we have Rob Brown. So I am going to set the draft up if you guys will join. I'm going to comment the draft link in the stream right now also, guys. So we are going to get this thing started. But, Matt, give me your 2 truths and a lie while we wait.
I'm joking, Chris. I'm joking. I came out with all my hot takes right off the rip.
Oh. Oh, you're
No,
joking? All right, I'll go then. I'll go.
I'm joking.
I'll go.
You got to go first. You got to go
Okay,
first.
I
only
thought
have
you
one
said you
take
were
right now.
joking at first.
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, Matt, ask me a random Knicks question while I send this link out into the chat. Just any Knicks question.
Landry Shamet campaign. Are they going to be playing meaningful minutes this season?
I believe Landry Shamet is going to be playing meaningful minutes. He's a good shooter off the bench. He only averaged 33% from 3 last season, but I think that's going to go up. Last season he was on the Wizards. They were a wreck. They didn't really have too much great point guard play. They had Tyus Jones, who's good, but the season was kind of a wreck. And I think he's going to get some meaningful minutes with the Knicks. Cameron Payne, it depends. I think Tyler Kolek is him, and I think Kolek is going to steal Cam Payne's minutes, honestly. I think we're going to see Kolek get minutes pretty quickly on, and I say quickly on because who wasn't expected to get minutes and is now a starting point guard in the NBA just a few years later? Emmanuel Quickley. I think we're seeing this happen again with the New York Knicks. Now, someone said in Discord, how do you join the fantasy league? You're in the yeah, guys. Also join the Knicks Digest Discord if you can. But yeah, I'm gonna paste this in right now. Charlie Knicks, if you're not in it, only you I'm doing this for. You comment down below, and I will kick someone out to add you. Not anyone who joined today though. I'll kick someone else. Link's open.
Wow.
Oh, I'll kick someone.
Wow.
I'll kick Matt, dude.
You can make it a 14-teamer. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that's all. Just do. I'm just gonna add.
Yeah.
No Brunson on your Knicks fantasy team, LMAO. But yeah, guys, I'll give you 2 truths and a lie right now that I feel about this New York Knicks team. Okay, let me think about that for 1 second, which is essentially here.
Not so easy, is it? Not so easy.
No, it's not so easy. I really set you up for failure. Okay. I think Deuce McBride is going to be a starter in the playoffs over Josh Hart. I think that the Knicks are going to trade Precious Achiuwa, and this is Jericho Sims' last year as a New York Knick, and they're going to move forward with Ariel Hukporti because they believe in him, but they're also going to sign a veteran center after this season. And one short-term one, I think Jalen Brunson is going to break Carmelo Anthony's record for the most points ever scored by a New York Knick this season. Guys, what do we think is the lie here? Matt, we'll start with you. Not that I'm going to say it right after because I want some comments.
Yeah, so I wouldn't expect you, but how about you shorten those options a little bit so it's easier for people in the comments to follow along?
Good point. Okay. I think not only does Achiuwa get traded, I think Jericho Sims is going to play his last year on the Knicks. I think that Deuce McBride is going to start over Josh Hart in the playoffs. I think that Jalen Brunson is going to break Melo's all-time Knicks most points in a single game record this season.
Am I allowed to guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to build up some suspense here. So that first thing you said about Deuce McBride starting over Josh Hart, you said it last stream. So I know that's true.
Changed. Maybe my mind's changed.
I'm going to go ahead and say that that's true. Now with Jericho Sims, that take, you think Achiuwa is going to get traded and it's still Jericho Sims last year on the Knicks? Is that the take?
That's the take.
I think you believe that too, because you talked about Achiuwa getting traded earlier and you talked about Jericho Sims. We talked about him potentially not reaching his full potential. So I'm going to go with that last one. I'm going to say you don't think Melo's all-time Knicks scoring record is in danger from Jalen Brunson. Am I right?
Well, we're going to wait for some comments to answer.
Oh, you're going to play it like that?
I'm going to wait. I want some commenters for a second. Tibbs loves hearts. TKO is my nickname. I'm going with for Tyler. My goat. Yeah, TKO is actually a fire nickname. Brunson is not beating Melo's scoring record. I'm down, Chris, for sure. Guys, make sure to join. The link is in. Charlie, I'm going to unpin your message so I could pin the fantasy one. Guys, join the fantasy league so we could draft it. But yeah, Matt, I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I think that Jalen Brunson is going to beat Melo's scoring record this year. I think he's going to get
Wow.
I think he's going to go for 65 points. I have changed my mind. I don't think Deuce McBride is going to start in the playoffs because he is scoring too well off the bench right now, and the Knicks like Josh Hart being that dirty work guy in the starting lineup.
Wow, that is super, super, super surprising. Obviously, that is a bombshell because I thought for sure, you would not change that take. And it sucks to get that one wrong because I 1000% believed that I thought that Josh Hart was going to start over Miles McBride the whole time. So I always disagreed with that, which is why it's embarrassing that I got that wrong.
I won't lie. I thought Deuce would be the starter, but the way he's scoring off the bench, and I get it's preseason, but I just really don't see that being something that is likely to happen. All right, Knicks fan 13 is in. Let's check back. It might not load.
Dude, I wrote down my takes and I forgot to do a lie. I just wrote down three true takes.
You just wrote down 3 takes that you think are going to happen?
Yeah.
Dude, been there.
I mean, I got a spicy one. I know that my first one, it has to send people into a frenzy because it's regarding a fan favorite, Nick. I think you might be able to guess who it is.
Well, let's hear him.
So, well, I got to think of a lie now. It has got to be a convincing lie first.
I got to think of a lot. You just say the two truths. All right, now, here's what I'm thinking of a lie. All right, we got 2 spots left open in this fantasy league. Yo, Charlie Knicks
starting. Yep. He's in Knicks. Dennis Rodman. I could see that.
Sims hurting his ankle was the worst thing he could do, opening the door wide for Huckporty to play. I agree. I think Jericho hurting his ankle is definitely going to lead to more Huckporty action. Also, guys, just a note, if you're in the fantasy league, we're going to be drafting. It's going to be 30 seconds per pick. We're going to be moving fast. So, need to make sure Charlie Knicks is in here. He's our moderator, so he deserves a spot. But I don't see the name Charlie in here, so there's 2 spots open. Guys, make sure to join the fantasy league if you want to play some fantasy basketball, some Knicks Digest fantasy. Brunson beats Melo's record easily. I just think with the way there's so many possessions now, Brunson got to 61 last year against the Spurs. He's going to keep continuing to get better for a bit. I really do think the New York Knicks superstar Jalen Brunson is going to have the scoring record at the end of the season. New York Knicks.
Mitchell Robinson, 63s this year. I'm going to use that as my lie.
Mitchell Robinson, 63s. That would be absolutely insane if I want to see Mitchell Robinson shoot a jump shot. He shot one 2 years ago, and I missed it. I didn't see it. So I'm very interested to see. I'm excited for this fantasy league, man.
Yeah, I mean, fantasy basketball with some people, with some fellow ball knowers,
with some non-casuals, dude. That's gonna
some
be
non-casuals.
Insane. 12-man league for right now. Draft settings later today. Setting it for 7:15 p.m.
Huckporty over Sims. I can get all the way behind that. Not today, but in a month.
I agree. I think it's going to happen. Huckporty looks more comfortable playing basketball. Sims doesn't look comfortable. Charlie Knicks is in here. We need one more person to join this fantasy basketball league. I have an idea. There's only one man who deserves this spot. Oh,
is it mournful Nets fan? No. Yo.
Sorry guys, sorry.
How many claws deep are we now, Chris?
We're 2.5.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing major. I'm trying to figure out something so I can hit up Dariel and get him into
Brooklyn Liberty. Oh my god.
The Brooklyn Liberty. Dude, if Dariel can get here in time, I'm gonna.
Chris, have you tuned into any WNBA playoffs this year?
Dude, Matt, you know me.
I know the answer.
You know I'm such a diehard Liberty fan. I won't lie, I haven't watched a second of it. But I do like the Liberty, and I hope they win. That'd be awesome for a New York team to get a championship, and especially when the Mets and the Yankees are both in the playoffs and the Knicks are contenders.
And the Jets are contenders. I hope.
The Jets are contenders. We're not contenders. We're not going to succeed with Ulbrich. We're going to succeed against the Bills, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Oh, my goodness. He wants Knicks happy hour to get into swing into high gear here.
He wants Chris passes out on stream.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Minnesota Timberwolves are the next preseason game. Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle. Do you think they're going to have some extra fight in them because they're going up against the New York Knicks?
Julius Randle's still injured and will not be playing.
That's a great point.
He's injured. Julius is hurt still. He's
That's a
not
great
ready
point.
to play.
Dude, people hated on you so much when you said Julius Randle will not be playing basketball for the New York Knicks come game 1, and you nailed it.
I nailed it. I also said right before that the Knicks were going to trade Julius for Towns, and we talked about it on the first ever Knicks Digest happy hour. And guess what happened 3 hours later, Matt?
Not only did you say it was going to be Towns for Randle, you said there was going to be $9 million left over, and lo and behold, $8.8 million.
Matt, the people don't believe me.
They
don't believe me.
I can't see why they would. When you're getting everything right, it gets less fun to watch. Who wants to watch someone who's right all the time, Chris?
Who wants to watch #Chris was right? Dude, I'm just checking. Guys, if you see me looking away right now, I am looking at the comments. Like, I have to see them on my phone with the way my computer is set up as it is.
Randle may never be 100% again. Chris, do you think he's in danger of not coming back from the shoulder injury?
I mean, he got the surgery to repair the dislocation. Usually that works. Usually getting a surgery like that should help him. But I think the Knicks feared the fact that Julius 2 years in a row had season-altering / ending injuries. And, yeah, Towns has had some injury problems in recent seasons. But guess what? So is Randle. Everyone's like, oh, well, they trade for an injury-prone player. I don't think Towns is injury-prone. He had a season where he played 31 games, came back, and was healthy for the playoffs. Now, he didn't really have a good playoffs, but he came back and was healthy for him. Julius missed all of last season with an injury. It's hard to really bet on that guy. Like, not all of last season, but all of 2024 with an injury, basically, outside of a few games. So I do think that will happen. I think Randle will be good. I don't think he's going to be great, though. I don't like this fit at all. I don't like the Timberwolves fit at all.
Oh, I don't understand why the Timberwolves wanted Julius Randle. I think it was a long-term money move for them, and they wanted to get rid of Cat.
Apparently, it sounded like they weren't moving Cat just for money purposes.
I don't get this trade from Minnesota. Like, did you want Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo that bad?
I think they wanted Cat's contract off their books. Like, what? Because what else makes sense?
It's tough to figure this one out because it feels like the Timberwolves just took 2 steps back right after it was 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Weren't they ready to go win the West this year? Shouldn't that have been their plan?
I don't know why, because especially Towns and Ant liked playing with each other. We're now in this weird situation.
But Chris, talking about tough to understand and tough to figure out, I got 2 truths and a lie for you.
What's up?
Or should we call it 2 takes and a lie?
2 takes and a lie. I like it. 2
takes and a lie.
Dude, we're getting better at the happy hour. We're figuring this out. We're figuring this thing out.
So, Chris, I'm going to keep it short and sweet for you. 1, Achiuwa is on the Knicks and is playing meaningful minutes for the entire season, including the postseason. 2, the New York Knicks fans overreacted like crazy to the loss of Dante DiVincenzo. And 3, Julius Brunson is going to average over 27.5 points per game this season. What is the lie?
You said Julius Randle's going to average over what? Excuse me? That's the one thing I didn't
Julius.
Okay. You said Julius Brunson, so that's not on me.
I said Julius Brunson. Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson over 27.5. Precious Achiuwa all year, and Dante DiVincenzo, Knicks fans overreacted to losing Dante DiVincenzo.
Well, first of all, JJ 47K. No, Cat's not our guy against Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I know. I saw that one. I saw that one. I just glossed over it.
Cat to be mentally tough. I think Jesse need to trade for Devontae Adams, and hopefully the coaching staff will change because Robert Saleh was not a good head coach at all. Yeah, I think we talked about this a bunch on Jets Digest, but so to answer your 2 takes and a lie, and then we'll get into that for a minute.
Yeah.
For a quick minute. This is Knicks Digest, but Brunson's the lie. Brunson's the lie. You do think Precious is going to stay. I don't know why, but I do think you think that. And I think that you would agree that the Knicks, you're a very rational sports fan. I think you understand the Knicks have a bunch of good shooting. So the DiVincenzo thing, yes, I think you do think Knicks fans overreacted to that because I definitely did. And I know a bunch of other Knicks fans have also because we liked the whole Nova Knicks thing. I'm going with Brunson. Brunson's not averaging 27.5 points per game in your mind.
Yeah, it does look like the crowd got me. My original line was 25, but I didn't want to make it sound like I was trying to bring something crazy, and then that was gonna be the lie. Surprise, surprise. But it's not a knock on Jalen Brunson. This take. The take is about what's around Jalen Brunson and how many points those guys are going to score, how many shots Cat's going to take, how many shots Mikal Bridges is going to take, how many shots Julius Brunson is going to take.
Luis agreed. Luis Matthew agreed with me.
Yeah, no, he got me. He got me.
One leg and he still scored 50. LOL. One leg and he lost. The Knicks didn't have an all NBA forward, and they beat the Sixers.
You misread the comment, Chris. He didn't say one leg. He said one loss.
One loss, two losses, 3 losses, 4
one
losses.
One
round. One round.
Yeah, that doesn't go off. That doesn't float off the tongue as well. It doesn't start with an L.
Mikal got to step it up. If Cat.
I mean, Chris, I'm sure we'll see Philly this year again, losing in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we'll watch Philly lose. Okay, let's check and see if we got this final fantasy spot filled.
Embiid injured the same knee multiple times. Huge red flag. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Need Precious for Embiid.
He didn't take the
so.
summer off to relax. He played Team USA basketball, which was a terrible idea.
Hey, it was great for us. Love to watch that team win.
Moses Brown might play in the playoffs. I love Moses Brown. It was good. I enjoyed the fact that the Team USA was able to go out there and win the Olympics. It was fun. We got to rally behind a bunch of players who we don't usually.
It felt good to have Steph Curry on our team.
It did feel good to root for Steph Curry. I'd be like, he's on the team I'm rooting for because that guy is very, very fun to root for.
Very talented. Very talented.
Huge red flag. Guys, we need that last fantasy person to join. I would hit up Ben Rogers of Raptors Digest, but he's currently at a rec league basketball game. So I'm going to send it into the NBA Talk Digest Media group chat.
We're going to get this thing rolling here, Chris. It's going to be a good draft.
I want to do this now.
Respect your opponent. Philly is a powerhouse. I mean, you came in here not respecting us first. Don't even know our roster. We know your starting 5 at least. Like, we never said Philly was bad. We just said they were going to be injured and they were going to lose. We said they were going to lose in the first round, which is what happened this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the East is
maybe they'll win. Good. Maybe they'll win the first round. They'll play a team that they match up well with.
I mean, honestly,
they can get past the fact that Embiid's going to be injured.
They don't match up poorly against the Knicks.
They match up well with the Knicks to a degree.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that Mitchell Robinson's healthy. Well, the Knicks have a fully healthy team that's better than last year's team. Yeah, the Sixers got better, but it's like, the Knicks won shorthanded with an injured Mitchell Robinson and without Julius Randle, and they won. So,
someone just said, New Lord says Drummond injury prone.
Drum Lord.
I'm trying to get this fantasy league going, and no one's joining the fantasy league.
You're good. You're good. Just give us some time.
Chat.
Philly has a lot of roadblocks. I mean, Philly just has to be healthy. They could theoretically put it together, but I don't know. For some reason, they just never seem to figure it out in the playoffs. And it doesn't always seem to be basketball related why they can't figure it out. Like, remember, they lost to the Hawks. I know the Knicks lost to the Hawks, but they were a lot better than us that year that the Hawks beat them.
Yeah. And Philly was supposed to win the East that year. They lost in 7. And it's like, oh, well, Ben Simmons did this. It's like, you know what, man? So? Your excuse is your player played bad?
No. The guy talking about the Sixers right now actually is a Knicks fan. Ugh.
I'm a Knicks fan. Drummond injury prone. Philly has a lot of roadblocks.
Sixers added names with no production. I think Caleb Martin was a good signing. Eric Gordon, the jury's out.
I mean, last time I checked, Paul George has production, right?
Paul George has production until the playoffs begin. Then the production goes out the window. Embiid injured Robinson.
Playoff P.
Respect. Playoff P.
Do you think is that a real thing? Do players actually just is there such thing as a player who could be really good during the regular season and just bad in the playoffs, Chris?
Well, we've seen it with Paul George.
I was going to pose a question, but I absolutely believe that is a thing.
Yeah, honestly, I think we're in a weird situation with the fact that there's so many new teams coming to the playoffs. Like the Magic are still
Figuring this thing out. The Pacers are figuring this thing out. The Knicks haven't been playoff staples. They've made it the last 2 years and 3 and 4 years, which is good. It's a good improvement. But you see these teams that are in the playoffs every single year, no matter what. Whether they're getting eliminated in the first round or going to the conference finals. Like the Bucks, the Sixers, the Celtics. They've all been
The
there.
Bulls. The Bulls are there in the play-in every single year.
The Bulls play in legends. The Heat always manage to stay in the playoffs. What it comes
Yeah,
down
that's
to
'cause
is
of
having a
Spoelstra.
good
That's
franchise.
Spoelstra.
Yeah, it's just having a good franchise also. They signed free agents. They got Jimmy Butler. They draft well. They drafted Bam, who became the second best big man in the Eastern Conference behind Joel Embiid at this point. You have Kel'el Ware, who looks like a great free agent. You drafted Tyler Hero 13th overall and Bam 14th overall. Like, they know what they're doing. The Heat are a good
No, they
organization,
absolutely
so they
have
there.
they have a great front office. They
Yeah,
have one of the best coaches in the league currently. Big
I'd say he's the
market.
best.
They just you say number over Pop?
It's tough because Pop is the
that's-
greatest of all time, but it's kind of like a LeBron thing.
The way I see it, it's like LeBron. He's the greatest until he's not.
Yeah, it is that. You could always.
Oh,
just
I'm
say
sorry,
that.
not until he's not, until he retires.
Yeah, it's hard to go against Pop. Just he's
It's like Mike
obviously a phenomenal
Krzyzewski with Duke. Like
Yeah, it didn't matter. He
like-
was the best coach in college basketball every year.
if someone's a better coach at the time, but you just out of respect for what the man has done in his entire coaching career, you got to be like, he's the GOAT.
Facts. Like, it's just tough to go against that guy.
Yeah.
Why is my
Yeah, we got more Embiid the dirty player comments. Like, yeah.
he
No one
is.
is going to disagree.
I was talking to
Oh,
Sean
man, that
Bernard
was-
of Sixers Digest. He's like, well, it's a stress fracture. It should have happened now. I'm like, Sean, Embiid hurt Mitch purposely. He did say that it was not cool of Embiid, though. So shout out Sean Bernard. Not trying to hate on Sean. Sean's the man.
I do feel bad because he's a diehard Sixers fan. Make sure to check out, or he's a diehard Phillies fan. So if you like baseball and you like hearing about other teams, because I highly doubt we have Phillies fans in here, check out Phillies Digest and all that stuff. Matt, you're a Mets fan. You happy?
No, I want to lose.
Darn. I knew it.
The Miracle Mets is what they're calling them, Chris.
They are the miracle.
Trade away
Mets.
all
I'm
your
happy for the
players,
Mets.
pick up prospects, and, Lindor and the
Somehow
polar
have-
bear will take you to the promised land.
Yeah,
the only
with, like,
problem is,
no
I don't
pitching.
know if the game started yet, but the Dodgers or the Padres, I don't know who I want to play less.
I hope the Padres win just because I find it funny when the Dodgers blow it. I just think it's
I mean,
funny.
I think everyone wants to see the Dodgers lose.
It would be funny if the Yankees and the Dodgers played each other in the World Series because you're going to have Mets fans who are just going to want to throw up all over themselves because it's like the only thing they hate more than the Yankees is the Dodgers, but they hate the Yankees. And then at the same time, literally every other fan base is going to be like, oh, I can't root for anyone here. This is terrible.
Yeah,
the Dodgers
that would
or the
be-
Yankees.
That would just be the worst, the absolute worst matchup.
It's
But
the
hey,
two most hated teams in the MLB. Like, no one wants to see that.
Are they the two highest
Yes.
books?
They're the two
The most
favorites.
money?
They're the two
Well,
favorites.
no, not the favorites. What do they call it? The salary cap. What's it called in baseball? Payroll? Are they the two highest payrolls in the MLB?
I want to say the Yankees aren't top two anymore because their owner, George Steinbrenner, who was their old owner, may he rest in peace. That his son Hal doesn't like to spend money, so it's this weird situation now.
That's not very New York of him.
It's not very New York, man. Go out and spend money on your friggin' baseball team, dude.
Nah, New Yorkers expect greatness year in and year out, especially from a storied franchise such as the New York Yankees. So they're not going to stand for him cheaping out.
Okay, we have a question from Charlie Nix. Can we get Dante back? Is that possible?
Ever? Probably not, but who knows? Maybe Dante will come back on a pay cut in 3 years. But also, he did ask, who are your A1 players in the current NBA?
Yeah.
So guys who can win, best players on a championship team. For me, Jokic is still the best player in basketball. The Nuggets are bad, but he's still in there. Like, the reason the Nuggets are still contenders is because of Jokic. I think Jamal Murray's overrated. Embiid is there. I know he hasn't done it, and I know he's injury prone, but he's good enough to get it done. I would say Giannis, Luka. This is not in a specific order also. I'm not, like, giving my top exact one to whatever. I'm just saying the guys who I think it is. I think Giannis is there. I think there's a world where Steph Curry can do it, but his teams are so bad, it's tough to gauge. I'd put LeBron in it. I'd say Tatum and Jalen Brunson are both fringe on the fact that, yes, Tatum won, but he was on by far the best team. And I still don't really trust Jason Tatum. I don't.
I mean, I don't see. They were dominant this year. So, I mean, going to the 1A argument, if Jalen Brunson won it with the Knicks this year, people would say the same thing. They would say dominant team, no matter if he wins the NBA the Finals MVP or not. They would say dominant team. But if the question is, best player on a championship team, I believe the Knicks are championship contenders, which makes Jalen Brunson the best player on the Knicks, an A1 player. You think
Fair.
these type, but when I think A1 players, that's not my description of the term. I'm thinking just the top 5 players in the NBA, which is you said it, I'll repeat it: Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Embiid, and wow, I don't know who I left out. Did I say
You said
Embiid, Jokic, Giannis?
the consensus guy who people add in that is Shea.
It's definitely not Shea. Definitely not Shea.
That's what
Maybe
the
it's just the top
consensus
4
would
then.
say.
No, it's just the top 4. That's all I have
Fair.
for the best players in the league, because those are the players who the league can end, and they're the best player. They're the best.
Am I going to start the fantasy draft? I'll start it, but it's getting kind of late, and I'm only gonna be on here for so much longer. So if someone joins in the final spot, but if not,
Chris,
we're gonna
I think it makes a lot of sense to do the fantasy draft next.
Yeah,
next
we're
Friday.
gonna do this next Friday. So fantasy draft is gonna be next Friday, guys, and the reason because of this is because that's how we're gonna start the live stream. We're not gonna do it an hour in. I'm just excited to do this. The NBA starts just a few days later, so it's also good. We'll know who's injured. We'll know who's not. We're gonna officially make the draft next Friday at 6:15 p.m. So just a little bit after everything gets going, we are going to do this draft. So that is Friday, October 18th, guys. Make sure to tune in for that live stream. Not that this one's ending right now, but I'm just saying, 6:15 p.m. fantasy draft.
So Charlie Nix came with pretty much the perfect rebuttal to what we said. He said, is LeBron still not A1 above all currently?
LeBron's A1 still. I did not add LeBron. LeBron's A1. He just is.
You think LeBron going to be better this year than Nikola Jokic?
Then Jokic, probably not, but also at the same time, I still trust LeBron to be the best player on a championship team. The Lakers can make moves and find a way to still be contenders, and LeBron is good enough to bring a team to a championship still.
We learned in the Olympics that LeBron is still maybe the number 1 best player in the world. He just doesn't turn it on all the time because he's 40 years old.
Yeah, so he coasts like crazy.
Yeah, so we'll put him in the 5, or I don't want to call it the 5 spot because they're not in order. If it was in order, it would be Jokic, Giannis, Embiid.
I'd say it's fair to call LeBron the fifth best player in the NBA.
4A LeBron, 4B Luka Doncic.
That's your top?
That's my top 5 in order.
Yeah, I'd put LeBron at 5. I would say it goes Jokic, Embiid, Luka, Giannis, LeBron,
just because Luka's had the success in recent years, but it could be. It's hard to go wrong with any way you want to put that list as long as Jokic is number 1. I think he's clearly the best player.
Jokic has to be number 1. The passing, the IQ is just off the charts.
It
doesn't matter.
Dude. It's just all.
It doesn't matter that his athleticism isn't the best in the world. He's just him. Absolutely him.
No, he just is. Jokic is just that good. Doncic is Cat. The
people love Luka.
Embiid. Nah, I think Cat's a completely different player than Embiid. Cat's a way better shooter than Embiid, and Embiid's better at basically everything else in the sport. I think they're different players.
I mean, I think Cat can bring up the ball sometimes. Embiid role plays as a guy who can bring up the ball, but Cat can actually do it.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll see. I just think they're different players.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what Dante DiVincenzo does versus the Knicks on Sunday at 6:00, because I feel like he's going to try to catch fire. Whether the Knicks let him catch fire, or that's yet to be determined. But he's going to at least try to catch fire.
I agree. I think we're going to see Dante be like, y'all traded me. I was happy here.
What are you
No, he
doing?
was.
Like,
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
he was happy for the year. Got to
I
get
mean,
Dariel on this. We'll get
as soon
Dariel
as
out here.
as soon as
Eventually.
Mikal Bridges got traded, he was not happy anymore being here. He was. We've seen the reports. He was not into the Nova boys. He didn't post like a heartbreak on Twitter after he got traded. He was okay with it.
Yeah, I think Dante was like, I kind of want to start though.
And knowing what we've seen from Dante DiVincenzo, the amount of his character that we can glean from watching him on TV, I don't think he was happy with coming off the bench. I think he sees himself as maybe not the best player on the team, but as an alpha, and he wants to start.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised that Dante would have preferred to be a starter on a contender, but he's not going to start in Minnesota.
Dante on the over 15 is apparently the line. Honestly, I like the over. I do like that, Charlie Knicks.
Yeah, Dante was about to be a bench player, as mentioned.
Ooh. I don't like this take in the chat. With Embiid's knee, someone prefers Cat. Who was it? Pokey Marquette prefers Cat over Embiid because of the knee. Chris, I want Embiid even with the knee. I have a feeling that you're going to agree with me.
Well, yeah, I think Embiid's better. I'm taking Joel
Actually,
still.
we did just put Embiid in the top 5 players in the league.
Yeah, and
we
we
both
didn't
put him
even
in our top
consider
3.
Towns.
So, yeah.
So, yeah. No, I understand that there's that report that Dante was upset. Like, there was a lot of saying that it was false. But regardless, it doesn't change the fact that I think Dante was fine with it, but he was the only one not posting about being hyped for the Nova Knicks. There's something there. The fact that he was not posting about it, he didn't talk about getting traded off the Knicks. The fact that none of that really came to light, I think is a sign that he was perfectly fine getting traded if it meant he got more minutes and was still on a good team. That's what my understanding of the situation was.
Yeah, there was definitely something brewing because it just seemed like he just doesn't have the overflowing personalities that the other guys had, and they were showing off those personalities because they were so excited about the Nova boys, and maybe Dante DiVincenzo wasn't as excited about it. But hey, we're thankful for the year he gave us.
Facts.
And
I mean, one of the
wish
greatest
him
1 year Knicks ever.
Wish him nothing but the best in Minnesota, except for when he plays us.
Yeah, then I want him to miss all of the shots. But outside of that, I want Dante to succeed.
Chris, give me your top 5. Rank the Knicks starting 5.
Mitchell Robinson is number 1.
I thought you were going to say Brunson. I was going to immediately go, hot take.
No, so Brunson's first, Towns is second. Then I'd go Mikal, OG, Josh Hart. I think OG's really good, and I think there's a world where he's better than Mikal this season. I just think Mikal is still better.
I was wondering if you're going to put Mikal over Towns.
No.
Not close?
No, Towns is better. Mikal's not an all-star level player. Towns is. There's a difference.
Man, what happened to you? What happened to you, Mr. Towns can't defend? Oh.
He can't. But he's
I'm getting excited.
From what I've seen, Towns is a better defender than what I remembered from his younger days.
Okay. I mean, hey.
His defense has been a pleasant surprise that it's not a complete revolving door. I thought that's what we were going to be seeing.
Yeah, that's what development does for you. But you got to remember, what we're seeing right now is preseason basketball.
Yeah.
So once the regular season begins, it's going to look different. However, speaking of beginning, how many White Claws have you began during this stream? Oh, I was hoping the number was going to be higher, Chris.
Matt, I'm not getting blackout drunk.
It's happy hour. Happy hour doesn't. Happy hour.
You're going out after this, right?
I'm going out to dinner.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm doing. What her and I are doing after that.
Oh yeah.
I almost said her name on camera. But,
for sure. Yeah, her.
But then it would come out that I'm using a fake name. No, it's because I don't want creeps finding
your Instagram. I think it's too late.
Well, I don't care if people find my Instagram. I literally have Knicks Digest in my bio. I don't want them to find her Instagram. She doesn't need that in her life.
All right. Let's bring it back to the Knicks here. Let's bring it back to the Knicks.
Yeah.
So people are talking about OG Anunoby in the chat right now. Charlie Knicks saying that they messed up trying to keep OG. Tough opinion, but I would have rather dropped OG than Dante.
I disagree. I think OG is one of the best defenders in basketball. Dante's
So
shooting is more replaceable.
It's Charlie Nix. So I started reading the comment. Usually when I bring a comment to you like this, Chris, I read the whole thing just to make sure it's going to be relevant to the topic of conversation. Make sure I can say the whole thing. But
actually, Charlie, I did
that
see you say this before. Sorry, I didn't read it out loud. That
in
I got
in real
distracted.
time, that take hurt my soul because looking at the difference in the win-loss record of the New York Knicks after acquiring OG Anunoby, I cannot understand that take.
Okay, wait.
I don't think
sorry.
it's close.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
So someone just misworded something, and So New Lord mentioned that Dante was involved in Brunson's. I mean, look, it's one of his best friends. They're college roommates, and I mean, I know one thing. I will say, when it comes to my college roommates, guys, there was this dude Mario who I lived with who was really cool, but there was this other guy I lived with, and he was a
Name drop.
disgusting freak, and I hate him, and he's gross, and that's exactly why we're hosting a YouTube live stream right now. For anyone who didn't know, Matt and I were roommates in college for 3 years of our lives.
For a second, I thought you were talking about your freshman year roommate. I was like, whoa.
Oh, I would
this
not.
is
No.
insane.
I hear he's doing better. I hear he's doing better. He's no longer.
Yeah.
He's no longer on the slopes or anything like that.
Okay.
But like,
New Lord agrees that Dante is better than OG Anunoby.
no, dude. People are.
Yeah.
Not New Lord. I'm not trying to
Dude,
call you people. Like, believe me. I think there's a general consensus by a lot of NBA fans who overrate the deal of shooting. When OG Anunoby, yes, he's not as good of a shooter as Dante, but OG's still a phenomenal three-point shooter. I would like to see the Knicks get a quick twitch shooter again, the way that quick trigger, I should really say, where Dante shot the ball very fast. He had a very quick
We
jump
got
shot.
one. We got one. Adam Marquette.
Yeah, we have Tyler Kolek. And also, something to mention is that New Lord did mention Dante was this is what I was laughing at. Dante was Brunson's groom at a wedding. He didn't want to get traded.
No, he was.
He was Brunson's groom?
Oh, right. Groomsmen or whatever the term is. I don't read into weddings like that.
Yeah, I've never been to a wedding.
All right. OG collects Pokemon cards.
Dude, OG's cool. OG does what he OG
Dante
can do what
was
he
an
wants.
Dante was an enforcer. Dante shot the 3-point ball better. OG is a force on defense. OG is the enforcer for the Knicks.
I think OG just fits a Thibodeau team, and I know Dante was a great defender also, but I think that OG fits better, and I think the Knicks can make up for the shooting. You have Karl-Anthony Towns, you have Jalen Brunson, you have Mikal, you have OG. All these guys can shoot over 40% from three in a season. It's not like they don't have shooting anymore. Like,
I mean, Towns replaced all the shooting and probably more with when you think about the replacement level shooting where you get off the bench into that two role that Dante DiVincenzo just vacated. What was just added to the 5? The shooting. So, Chris, I'm gonna use my hands here. The shooting at the 2 went down a little bit. The shooting at the 5, so much up. The sum of those two moves, the shooting's definitely up. That's why OG Anunoby's defense is more important than what he would bring to the team with shooting threes. And the way the pick and roll from Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, Chris, the beginning of the game, one of the first takes that was made by Clyde on the broadcast was, he said, look at how open that paint is. That's what Karl-Anthony Towns does for the Knicks offense. It was insane. Anyone could cut in at any time because
OG's also a phenomenal cutter.
Dude,
Really
OG's a great all-around
cutter.
player. Like, does he have a hole in his game, Chris?
Not exactly. It's ball handling if you want to be
exactly,
like,
but
nitpicking.
That open space was beautiful. It was beautiful because there's going to be, I think that pick and roll might be one of, we might have to give it a name here, Chris. We might have to give it a name.
Brunson and Towns' pick and roll. Yeah, I mean, it is lethal. I'm trying to
Have you seen people are calling Karl-Anthony Towns Bodega Cat?
Oh, yes, that I've seen. That's
an awesome nickname. Because Hart wanted to call him Big Cat, but I didn't like that. Bodega Cat's way better.
Bodega Cat's great because there are so many Bodega Cats in New York. Like, if you
now we got another one.
Yeah, literally, there's just Bodega Cats all over. Which, you know, is kind of a vibe. But as someone who's allergic to cats, whenever I have to go into a random bodega to get a bottle of water, I'm like, oh no, there's not a cat in here, and I to have a massive allergic reaction and fall over.
Well, yeah, but it's okay because whenever you go into the bodega, you have your ski mask on anyway, so you're good.
Yeah, I do be wearing the shiesty, and
Yeah, you do be piss poor and need to rob bodegas.
I do
to make
rob
ends meet.
bodegas to make ends meet because Knicks Digest, we don't get any super chats.
OG robbed the bank, dude.
Yeah, they overpaid
No.
OG, but
I don't care. I don't care.
It's a
I don't
worthy
care.
overpay.
You know why they can overpay him, Chris?
Why?
Because Jalen Brunson signed an almost unfair contract.
Yeah, so it's so worth it. Also,
He said-
OG
he signed
affects
that to-
winning massively. What were you gonna do? Let him walk? Like, they had no option.
Chris, I was in the gym. I look up at the TV screen. I see OG Anunoby signs with the Knicks, and I just, a huge weight came off my shoulders
Yeah.
because I just knew that this was oh man. Well, also part of it is I didn't want to give up quickly in RJ Barrett for nothing, but
That would have sucked.
that OG Anunoby, I gotta get a jersey because he's quickly becoming another player that I love because he doesn't care if he gets the spotlight. He doesn't care if he gets the shots. He's
wants
just there to
win.
ball, and he's there to win.
He
Yeah,
just wants to
exactly.
win. And he's like,
He's
y'all
there to
need
win.
me to win. Y'all need me to win.
Yeah.
If y'all are gonna win games, y'all need me to help do it. So
Big bodega. Still an overpay. Yeah, guys, we're not here to say it's. I mean, honestly, yeah, I am here to say it's not an overpay. I think he's worth the money, Chris. I'm gonna just stand on business and say it. He was worth the money. I think I saw he was worth it. That's it. You can agree, disagree.
I would say OG got overpaid, but it's fine that he did. It's not like it's some vast overpay where they paid a guy who has a massive impact on winning. I don't care that they overpaid him when Brunson is getting severely underpaid. Like, it doesn't matter. It's what you were talking about with the sum of shooting, how it went up. It's the sum of winning went up with cheaper money. And look, it's not like OG Anunoby's the first phenomenal role player to be getting paid an absurd amount of money. It's not like he's the only guy who that's happened to. That happens to a lot of players. We've seen so many players get overrated or overpaid. I'm really completely unconcerned by the amount that OG's getting paid. Yeah, it's more than he deserves. What are you laughing at?
Would you rather be underpaid or overrated?
Would I rather be underpaid or I'd rather be overrated. Get me that money, dude.
Sorry, I had to quote Jay-Z real quick. You said them both. I just had to bring it out.
That's fair. What Charlie and Nick say. Guys, this is what happens when you're a loyal subscriber to Knicks Digest. You become a moderator, and not that that's gonna happen.
Every single comment gets a bell goes off in Chris's head.
I look out for there's a little wrench thing.
Hey,
So for
he's
people who
looking
don't
out-
know
he's
how
looking
I'm
out for
checking the
us.
comments, it's through my phone. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of an insider thing. So you could see the blue is Charlie Knicks. So that's how I know.
Yeah,
what's
I
on.
mean, we could barely see that because of the green screen. So thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
for
I
that. Actually, wait a second. No, I could barely see that because I'm looking at the Zoom background. But I'm sure all saw that fine.
Oh yeah. You're looking at a Zoom background. My background is New York Jets for.
Yeah. OG making Jalen Brown money. I think it's an overpay.
I'm not saying it's not an overpay. I think it is an overpay, but it's also at the same time, what's the other alternative? You let him walk? Like, that's not good.
That's what I'm saying.
Just
I'm
get
saying
worse.
if that is the money, I mean, Chris, the reason you don't want to overpay OG Anunoby is to save the money for another player. Who is that other player that you'd be saving the money for, Chris?
No one. They're so over the salary cap already, it wouldn't affect anything.
Exactly. That's why it's not an overpay, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's all worth it at the end. Like,
Honestly, I was
you
thankful.
want to win games, you got to pay money. I didn't care.
I was thankful.
Yeah. I didn't care.
When they signed
gave
him,
that.
I looked at that. I went, thank goodness that we got this guy.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. We need him.
Knicks Jazz. I'm looking at your background right now. Knicks
Me?
Jazz. Yeah, yours.
Yeah.
The Knicks were up 57-43. Orange Court. Melo was probably there somewhere. Pretty tough.
Give it up. My
that.
Knicks dream trade deadline, trade Mitch for Dante and Precious.
Yeah, as
Wait.
Pokey Marquette said, real quick, sorry. Impact on winning
Yeah.
deserves money. absolutely right. You don't even need to say any more. Impact on winning.
I mean, there are
deserves
so
money.
many players who are paid so much for empty stats. OG Anunoby, his stats are as full as they can possibly
He's
be.
the opposite of empty stats. Way more happens than what the box score says.
So what do you call that then? What kind of player you call that?
Good.
Just a player who affects winning? Well, yeah, but we want to be
a winner.
Specific.
Yeah, he's a winner. They paid for a guy who's a winner. He has a ring. He has played with the greatest on-ball defender in history of basketball. Clearly helped his game.
Yeah.
And OG is clearly benefiting off all of this and comes to New York and they go on some massive win streak.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you trade Mitchell Robinson for Dante DiVincenzo?
Yes.
Are the Knicks allowed to trade Mitchell Robinson for Dante DiVincenzo?
Yes.
Okay. Because
in the
NFL,
I wanted to do it again.
in the NFL, you're not allowed to do that. You can't
You can't trade Mitchell Robinson for Dante DiVincenzo in the NFL? Damn, dude.
Yeah.
There goes my parlay.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
I bet that Mitchell Robinson got traded off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season.
So in the NFL, you can't trade a player. If you trade player A away for the next 2 years, your team cannot reacquire player A via trade.
For the NBA, it's 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you need to. They can't do it right now. You could do it in a year from now. It's once this season ends. Once the calendar season ends. Not the calendar season. Sorry. Once the NBA season ends, which is sometime over the summer, I'd be lying if I knew when it was.
Yeah. Wait.
Off season.
Pokey Marquette. All these stats talk about catch and shoot, great shooting percentage, can guard the 5. Are you talking about OG Anunoby?
Matt, this is Leon. It's about getting Leon's friend since 15. Not about Dante, whose money was needed if he was not overpaid. Best two-way player in the league right now. OG arguably is. He's one of the best.
There's an argument that OG's the top 3 defender in basketball with the way he guards 4 positions, really 5. He guards every position.
4. No, more than that. All 5.
He guards 5.
Yeah, absolutely agree with
He guarded
Marquette
Embiid
here.
way too well to call it 4. Minnesota's obviously not doing that. Yeah, they're not. They would never trade Devo for Mitch. Why does that make sense? You have Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Pokey Marquette's got my back here. He's helping me out, giving me more ammunition in the OG Anunoby was worth his contract battle.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's right.
OG can guard anyone. OG hits 46% of his corner threes. He's a phenomenal cutter. He does everything a basketball team needs to win. That's worth the money. Is it still an overpay to a degree? I'd say yes because of his injury issues. That's why. It's not about his points per game or anything like that. It's the fact that OG gets injured a lot. That's why I think it's an overpay. He's injury prone.
He's been on a championship team. He maybe wasn't a huge piece, but he's seen it happen. He can bring in he knows what was said in those locker rooms.
Yeah, he knows what happened. He knows what it took from the guys who weren't injured then because OG didn't play the playoffs. He was injured.
Yeah,
but
I know.
But he was there. It doesn't change the fact that he was there. He understands what happened, what they went through, what these people. He had a firsthand experience. Like, it doesn't matter. It's a massive impact.
It's difficult to find players who can add to winning as much as he does, who have also had maybe not playoff experience, but at least the playoff season experience. And he knows what kind of things need to be said, what kind of mentalities need to be held onto by the team to potentially make a playoff run, potentially make a long-term championship run. And I'm sure all the knowledge that he has is going to be rubbing off on all the young guys in the locker room.
Yeah, I frankly, what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
All right, text it to me or tell me off camera. We're gonna call this thing in a few minutes from now. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, I think
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Call it.
We're gonna do 7:50.
7:50. All right.
Yeah, basically 2 hours. I won't lie. I'm sitting in this chair and I'm just getting sore. So, and also I have places to go. I have a dinner reservation. So that's
what time's your dinner reservation?
It's at 9:15. But it's
Oh,
I'm going out before then. So
yeah. You going out to probably drink more White Claws.
yeah. So this is America, land of the free, home of the
Ooh,
White
Chris, I
Claw.
like this question.
Knicks
Charlie
are really
Knicks.
big.
Who's more clutch on defense, OG or Josh Hart?
I am always, when it comes to defense, I'm just always going to go with OG.
Yeah, I think it's a good
understand
question.
Josh Hart is a clutch player. He has that clutch gene. We haven't seen any argument that OG hasn't, so I'm just always going to go with OG. He's the best defender in the Knicks. The man's arguably the best defender in basketball. Like, best non-rim protecting defender in basketball. It's either him or Herb Jones.
White Claw is trash. From Steven Torres.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, boy.
I just showed my entire thighs in the process. I didn't think that went through at all, guys.
What was the joke there?
The joke was I was going to shut my computer, and instead I just showed my thighs to Nick's Digest.
That did
I'm
not
sorry,
come
guys.
across. That did not come across.
Yeah. You know what, guys? You know what, if I'm being honest? We're all friends here. We're all friends on Nick's Digest. They're like, why did I just see this YouTuber's thighs?
Chris, New Lord is telling me OG needs to average 18 points a game at least.
No, he's not.
Because
He's gonna average
if he's a max player, let me finish. If he's a max player, he needs to play like one. But he's not a max player off pure scoring. I feel like you wanna take this one, or you want me to take this one?
I'll just say he's gonna average 14, and I'm fine with it.
So you're not. I mean, does a max player, if you're a max player, does that automatically mean you need to score 18 points per game, or it's a failure?
No. It affects.
Yeah, I agree, especially when you're a defensive player. Like, he's a defensive gem, stalwart, whatever word you want to use. He's a great defender, can guard all 5 positions.
Also, Charlie Knicks, my room is not smoking. It's the mix of my ring light, which is very close to my computer. Usually it's a farther distance away, but it's broken, so I have to like keep it really close to my face. And like that's why it looks all it's why things look hazy for a bit, and also why I'm sweating because I'm getting blasted with the lights.
Bridges' defense was impressive last game. I'm gonna disagree because he has been. Was he with the Suns? Was he number 2 or number 3 in Defensive Player of the Year voting, Chris?
Mikhail?
Yeah,
Those.
number 2. So I'm not impressed. I knew he was this kind of defender. This is why we wanted to get him.
Yeah, I mean, we brought him in to have the best defense in basketball, and the Knicks look like they're going to have the best defense in basketball. It's so worth it. You have Wingstop and OG and Mikhail. Great nickname.
That's the name I was trying to think up. I knew I saw something so smart about our wings being amazing on defense, and I forgot what it was. Wingstop, bro.
It's so cool. Also, Jay Bishman, interesting point. Phoenix is going to trade Durant. Possibly, I imagine Beal, for Randle, Minnesota to live out his burner account days in the cold Midwest. I could see Kevin Durant getting traded for that, but that's if the Suns are really giving up, though. That's the only case in which they trade Kevin Durant. New Lord, his value is he doesn't need usage to impact winning. That is so valuable. He's absolutely right.
Yeah, he's on our side here. You disagree by agreeing? No, you said you were impressed. I'm saying I wasn't impressed because I knew that's what he was going to do.
Yeah.
So when LeBron goes out and puts up 40 points in a closeout game, you're not impressed. You're saying,
it's like, yeah, LeBron's done that before.
Yeah.
He'll do it again.
Yeah. So, no, I'm not agreeing. Don't be impressed. I'm not impressed. You can be impressed. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. I think that the New York Knicks could easily win the finals this year. I think the Celtics are going to have mad hangover for this championship.
I don't think they will because they're a franchise who has a ton of championships. They're one of the storied franchises in the NBA. They know how to win championships. If there's anyone to not have a championship hangover, it would be the Celtics and the Lakers.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think the Celtics themselves are the greatest team. Having Drew Holiday is a huge help. The man's been on good and bad teams.
You don't think they're the
He's won a ring
greatest team?
before.
Chris,
Celtics? No, I do. No, I do.
Then what did you just say?
This team specifically. Like this.
No. I'm not talking about the Celtics as a franchise. This
all
team,
time.
didn't they win?
Yeah, all time.
No, I'm not talking about all time. I'm talking about right now. You said they're not that. The Celtics aren't that good right now.
I don't think they're so good where they can avoid championship hangover.
Okay.
I think
I'm saying
great.
that the team is the best team in the NBA
I agree.
by a wide margin.
I don't think it's a wide margin.
I don't know if it's a wide margin anymore, but
I
it's
think
definitely
it was
a margin.
last year. I think it
There's
was
definitely-
last year. I think it's closed. That gap.
I don't think it's close. It's not like if we were 2K rating these guys and they were 99, the next team, maybe the Knicks, are probably at like the 96. It's still a gap. There's still a gap.
Dallas is real good. I think Dallas got way better.
I think the Knicks are better than Dallas.
I
mean, I love Derek Lively. I love Derek Lively, but the Knicks are better than Dallas.
You know what? I'm going to say that the Mavericks are better simply because of Derek Lively, who is underrated. I don't know how you're underrated after having a great rookie year. But
people are finding out. You know why? Because Victor Wembanyama exists.
Yeah, it's that.
That's why no one cares about Chet Holmgren's rookie year.
I care about Chet if you're like in the playoffs.
I'm talking about casuals. If you know, you know with Chet. People know about him. But
rather Randle fit on the Knicks team or OG? OG fits better than Randle. Randle's just better at basketball, but I'd rather OG for this specific team because of defense.
No, but Chris, back to the Celtics real quick for one more point.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the greats in the history of the Celtics are going to talk to the guys here, and they're going to get their minds right. The coach is going to get their minds right. The ownership, it's the championship hangover. It's a mindset. It's a mindset, and I think they're going to be able to lock right back in because I think they're that type. The leadership is there to lead these guys correctly.
I think it's also you're banking on Porzingis to not get injured again. I think Porzingis is going to be really hampered by this injury that he played on. I don't think he's going to be the same player. It just feels like the Celtics aren't the type of team to go to a back-to-back. Like, it feels like you could rattle them mentally.
I agree with that, but
sometimes goes so ice cold. Derek White's great.
Chris, so if I gave you $100, I told you I will give you plus 100 odds on any team to win the championship. Would you take the Celtics?
Probably, which is a good argument. It's a very good argument to make. That's a very good point.
So, yeah, I feel like we're not giving them enough credit. Like, I understand what you're talking about, how it's really hard to go back to back.
They are the favorites. I imagine they're the favorites, but I want to see
they are. Don't check. It's Celtics. I think it's then Thunder, then Knicks. You want to know exactly what they are? Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see the odds. I don't even know if I can.
Klay Thompson, horrible on defense and rebounding. Klay Thompson, unfortunately, is not the same after that ACL injury. Or is it ACL or Achilles?
It was both.
Or was it both?
ACL, then Achilles the year after. It's just, how could you not feel bad for that?
Chris, my first night at Sacred Heart was the Klay Thompson injury.
Oh, yeah, and I was there
for a different one. So you know the room
I was
that
there when the
everyone's
Warriors stayed alive.
You know the room where everyone was watching it?
Yeah.
Dude,
that was the room where they had the pool tables and they took them all out.
Everyone was hating on the Warriors so much, but when Klay went down, everyone went silent. Everyone went silent when he went down.
Dude, yeah, because everyone likes Klay. Like, Klay's just a nice dude. Did you know that Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant are two of the biggest potheads in basketball history?
I would have thought RJ Barrett would be up there.
There's some interesting stuff coming out about RJ Barrett right now.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned to Knicks Digest.
Stay tuned on Knicks Digest for me to talk about something that I cannot talk about on the internet. I'll tell you after. You can just go look it up too. People might find it. It's some not good stuff. Not like
Celtics.
Bad. I don't want to say it's not good. I don't think it's true. But yeah, no. We're gonna avoid that.
Yeah.
We're gonna push. We're gonna push past it. Finals winner. Okay, yeah. Celtics are plus 310. After that, the Thunder are plus 700. Knicks are plus 800. Sixers are plus 900. Nuggets are plus 950. Timberwolves are plus 1,000. And so are the Mavs. Timberwolves and Mavs are tied for plus 1,000 at the fifth best odds.
Am I wrong to feel disrespected by them putting the Oklahoma City Thunder over the New York Knicks?
Nah, Thunder are great. Shea's better than Brunson still as of today. Thunder have a great bench. Caruso.
So you're taking the Thunder over the Knicks?
Yeah, in fairness, I am. I think the Knicks should beat him. I'm not saying it's an unbeatable team.
I can't do it. I do
have to ask you something though, Matt. Matt, I have to ask you something.
I don't like it.
Am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real?
I had to do you like that. All right. We're going to wrap this up in a few minutes, guys. I have to go and get on with some other stuff. But
the Thunder are still young, but they got the experience last year. Last year, I picked them to lose in the second round, which they did because they didn't have the experience. They have it now. Is it enough? It definitely could be. Definitely could be. The West doesn't have that one juggernaut contender that everyone's afraid of. So
no, they don't.
I mean,
they have a bunch of
great
teams.
It will be okay. OKC, it will be in 2 years, maybe 1 year, maybe this year, but not right now.
The Thunder
have
have exceeded expectations every single year. Like, they were not expected to be a first seed this year. They were expected to be like a 5-6 seed, and Shea is completely broken out. Chet's gonna get better. Having Hartenstein off the bench is gonna be huge.
Chet just got to eat some cheeseburgers.
Yeah, Chet's got to get his weight up so he's not getting bodied on rebounds. Like, that's the problem. Like, Chet's so physical. He's not afraid to get down and dirty, but he's just young and he's thin and he's like.
But what I love is his first year he put on 16 pounds.
Yeah,
which is a great trend. It's a great trend. Yeah.
No, Chet's
because there are some guys that, like, I like to follow a lot of prospects across different sports, and there are some guys that they have one thing they need to work on, but they just never get better at it. So that's why I feel really positive seeing Chet Holmgren put on this weight. Obviously not positive for Knicks championship chances, but for someone who just, wants to see high level basketball being played, I like what I'm seeing at Chet Holmgren's weight gain for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Chet, I think he's going to get there as a player. I don't think next year is going to be the year where he figures it all out. I think the year after will be. But his growth has been linear. I think Chet's a great player. The Thunder know how to draft. They know how to develop. They know how to do this stuff. And I think we're going to see a great year out of them. Maybe they will make the finals. It just feels like they're still young and Hartenstein's a bench player.
Do we want to make a bet right now?
What's the bet?
Just $5.
For what? I don't know what the bet is.
That the Knicks make it farther in the playoffs than the Oklahoma City Thunder do. I want the Knicks.
I think they're both going to lose in the conference finals.
So take the money then.
Oh, wait, that benefits me. I'll take the money.
Push. Well, no, push. That, right,
push.
Right?
I'll push it. Yeah, we'll push that.
Okay. Chat, Chris just bet against the Knicks live on.
You're really messing me up here, man. I'm just trying.
No, it just shows that we're gonna be objective here. We're gonna be objective, and we're gonna give real takes. We're not just gonna talk about the Knicks and just this guy's on the Knicks. Like, we're talking about second round picks and hyping them up a lot with Huck Porty and Tyler Kolek, but we're not just doing that because they're on the Knicks. We're doing that because we really believe. We watch a lot of basketball, and we believe that these players really could be special players.
Also, I do actually think it's very fair the Knicks have the third best odds to win the finals. At the same time of being objective, which I'm always going to be, I have been on this channel. I've never been someone who's like, well, the Knicks are just going to win the finals. I'm a very realistic fan, but I will say I think the Knicks do have the best team they've had since the turn of Y2K, so our lifetimes. And I think also the Knicks can easily get past the Celtics and go to the NBA Finals and win the NBA Finals. I think they're that good this year.
I was born in 1998.
Yeah,
I was born in 1998.
You were born in 2001. I know your birthday.
Yeah. No, but if the Knicks match up against the Celtics in the playoffs, Celtics are better, but the Knicks beat them. The problem is
the Knicks are the
someone
anti-Celtics.
else. I know, that's why.
Really well.
The problem is someone else going to bounce the Knicks, and that's what we have to be afraid of.
Yeah, it becomes that. Oh, yeah, Fantasy League is full, guys. Draft next week on the Knicks Digest Happy Hour next Wednesday, so you guys want to make sure to tune in for that one because we're going to knock this thing out in a few minutes. We're going to head out. But I do just want to say, guys, before we head out, guys, next week, Fantasy Draft. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're also going to talk about some other rumors and stuff, so it's not just a few people in the live stream. We're going to try to have a great time doing this. We're going to get as many people involved as possible. I don't only want the league in the live stream.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I
thought you were talking about tonight. I was gonna say. I was gonna say tonight. This is not a few people.
Yeah. No. 100 people.
Definitely support all the way around. $1,000 entry, Chris. $1,000 entry. Pokey Marquette. Do we look poor?
No, I'm not doing that.
$150,000 per person.
Facts. No, but for real, guys, make sure you subscribe to Knicks Digest. This is a great time. We're going to stay on for like 2 or 3 more minutes, but Look, guys, these live streams are so fun. It's the best form of Knicks content you're going to find on any part of the internet. So, you guys should
That
make sure to
includes
subscribe.
Knicks games.
That actually, yeah, we're better than Knicks games because I wear 2 Hawaiian shirts and drink White Claws on screen. So,
And tonight it was only 2. It has gone higher than that before.
Matt, it was 4.
You have 4 Hawaiian shirts on right now?
Oh, 2 Hawaiian. I think you meant White Claws.
No, no.
4 White Claws. It was 2 Hawaiian
No.
shirts. Oh, I wore 6 Knicks jerseys at once.
Chris, I made a
Question is,
mistake.
can we get to-
Chris, I want you to go out tonight and embarrass yourself. I want you to drink so much on stream that you embarrass yourself.
No. I will
Unfortunately.
tomorrow.
Unfortunately. Yeah, but the stream won't see that, Chris, so it's not as genuine.
It's not as genuine, but
Yeah.
Fridays are
Can
more
you
relaxed.
put your ring light on and talk about the Knicks and pretend like you're live streaming?
Yeah, I'll just talk to myself. I'll talk to my ring light.
I'll talk to this guy right here. Look at how my fucking right before it ends, I do it again. Guys, I'm sorry for cursing. I don't mean to curse. You guys are getting the
All
real
right.
Chris right here.
Yeah.
Brown and Holiday are the only threats on the Celtics. Guys, shout out to everyone who tuned in. Shout out to our moderator, Charlie Nix, for just being the man always. Anyone else who ever wants to be a moderator, you let me know. If I recognize your name, maybe you'll be one, but Charlie Nix is our guy for right now. But guys, to anyone who tuned in for this live stream, thank you so much. It is the most fun thing in the world. When I say Matt and I look forward to this on every single Friday, we talk about this every day. Like when it's Thursday and we're filming Jets Digest videos, we're like tomorrow's happy hour. It's a great time, guys. Make sure to tune into Jets Digest. We have basically these same conversations, but about the New York Jets. I don't even think you have to be a Jets fan to enjoy it. It's just us cracking jokes, having a great time, also talking about sports. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another Knicks Digest happy hour. We will see you next Friday, unless something happens to where we decide, hey, emergency live stream, emergency happy hour. You never know. It could always be a thing. But happy hour number 4, we're getting this thing down. This is happy hour number 3, happy hour number 4 next time. We actually might have a guest for you guys next week. There's a few people who I have discussed coming on this channel. So you guys want to make sure to stay tuned. Guys,
Maybe a mystery guest?
maybe a mystery guest, but next week is the fantasy draft, so it might be the week after. We're still figuring happy hour out, guys, but all I know is it is the most fun thing in the world, so you guys want to make sure to tune in. Guys, have a great rest of your night. Cheers.